Imagine standing on the shores of Lake Michigan, the wind carrying the scent of water and steel, and the first glimmers of sunrise reflecting off the glass and concrete of a city that has always been defined by ambition, resilience, and reinvention. Chicago, the second city, is a place of contrasts. It is a city built from fire and water, from immigrants, sweat, and visionaries' dreams, from the shadows of the past and the brilliance of the future. Its story begins long before the first skyscraper pierced the sky, long before the jazz and blues clubs reverberated with their soulful melodies, long before the grid of streets and rails expanded to accommodate millions seeking opportunity. The land itself tells the earliest story. Before settlers arrived, this area was home to Native American peoples, including the Potawatomi, who thrived along the shores of Lake Michigan, hunting, fishing, and sustaining communities in harmony with the land. They called it Chekagoo, a place of wild garlic, abundant rivers, and fertile soil. Waterways served as lifelines, transporting people and ideas. Nature shaped the rhythm of life here, a rhythm that would guide the city's growth even after industrial ambition took hold. By the late 18th century, French traders arrived, establishing outposts that linked the Great Lakes with the Mississippi River system. The city's location proved ideal, a natural port where rivers and lakes converged, a crossroads of commerce, transport, and cultural exchange. Chicago's destiny as a hub of trade, industry, and migration was set. With the 19th century came waves of settlers, immigrants from Ireland, Germany, Poland, Italy, and beyond. They built the city with their hands, their labor forming the streets, bridges, and buildings that would shape Chicago's identity. Yet Chicago's path was far from smooth. In 1871, disaster struck. The Great Chicago Fire, fueled by dry weather and wooden construction, consumed over 17,000 buildings, leaving more than 100,000 people homeless. Amid the devastation, a remarkable transformation began. The city rose from ashes, adopting fire-resistant materials, new urban planning concepts, and architectural innovations. Out of tragedy, Chicago established a legacy of resilience and ingenuity that would define its character. Architecture became Chicago's calling card. The city birthed the first skyscrapers, pioneering steel frame construction that allowed buildings to climb skyward. Architects such as Louis Sullivan, Daniel Burnham, and Frank Lloyd Wright pushed boundaries, combining form and function, elegance and innovation. Chicago's skyline, now iconic, tells the story of a city that refused to be confined, that aspired not just to grow, but to inspire. Chicago is also a city of waterways and industry. The Chicago River, once a vital trade artery, was ingeniously reversed in the early 20th century to protect the city's drinking water and improve sanitation. The ports along Lake Michigan facilitated commerce that connected the Midwest to global markets, fueling economic growth that transformed the city into a manufacturing powerhouse. Steel, meatpacking, railroads, and shipping anchored the economy, attracting workers and immigrants hungry for opportunity. But Chicago is more than steel and stone. It is a city of culture, music, and defiance. Jazz and blues flowed from South Side clubs, providing the soundtrack to lives filled with hardship, hope, and creativity. Legendary artists like Muddy Waters, Howlin' Wolf, and Louis Armstrong performed in smoky halls, shaping genres that would ripple across the nation. The city's literary tradition also flourished, with writers capturing the grit, ambition, and contradictions of urban life. Chicago's history is also marked by struggle for justice. Labor movements erupted in the late 19th and early 20th centuries, demanding fair wages, safer conditions, and dignity for workers. The Haymarket Affair of 1886 became a symbol of the fight for labor rights, echoing the city's enduring spirit of resistance. From civil rights marches to modern social movements, Chicago remains a city where the marginalized demand visibility and equality. Education and innovation thrived alongside industry. The University of Chicago, established in 1890, became a hub of intellectual thought, pioneering research in economics, sociology, and the sciences. Public institutions and libraries offered learning and opportunity to immigrant communities, fostering upward mobility and social advancement. Yet despite growth and opportunity, Chicago faced, and continues to face, complex social challenges. Segregation, crime, and inequality have left visible scars on neighborhoods, shaping the city's modern identity and fueling dialogue on how to create a more inclusive future. The story of Chicago is never just its triumphs. It is also its struggles, woven together into a narrative of resilience, innovation, and renewal. As the city's sun rises higher over Lake Michigan, the streets come alive. Commuters traverse the L train network, neighborhoods buzz with commerce, and the wind carries echoes of the city's past while heralding its future. Chicago is a city in motion, constantly remaking itself, balancing heritage with progress, ambition with community. Its story is long, rich, and full of lessons about human ingenuity, resilience, and the power of place. From its fiery beginnings to its rise as a global city, Chicago has always been more than a collection of buildings and streets. It is a living chronicle of aspiration, struggle, creativity, and reinvention, a testament to what people can achieve when confronted with adversity. The heartbeat of Chicago pulses through its neighborhoods, each one a world unto itself. From the elegant boulevards of the Gold Coast to the vibrant streets of Pilsen, from the historic Bronzeville district to the bustling hubs of Chinatown and Little Italy, the city thrives on diversity. Waves of immigrants brought traditions, cuisines, music, and languages that melded into a singular, dynamic urban culture. The streets themselves tell stories. Taquerias alongside soul food restaurants, murals honoring civil rights leaders next to murals celebrating local heroes, jazz clubs sharing blocks with tech startups. Chicago's identity is a tapestry woven from countless lives, each contributing a thread of resilience, artistry, and ambition. The industrial boom of the early 20th century transformed Chicago into a city of labor and innovation. Factories, stockyards, and rail yards created livelihoods, but also harsh conditions that tested the human spirit. Workers fought for fair wages, safety, and recognition, culminating in landmark labor movements that shaped not just the city, but the nation. These struggles left an indelible mark on Chicago's character, teaching lessons of solidarity, resistance, and the enduring pursuit of justice. Chicago's waterways, too, tell stories of ingenuity and survival. The Chicago River, once polluted and stagnant, was reversed to protect drinking water and improve sanitation, a feat of engineering that symbolized human determination to reshape the environment for progress. Lake Michigan, shimmering under the sun, provides not only beauty but sustenance and transportation routes that propelled commerce. The city's ports connected the heartland to the world, facilitating trade in grains, steel, and manufactured goods. This constant flow of goods, ideas, and people cemented Chicago's role as a national and global hub. Music, however, is the lifeblood of the city's soul. Chicago gave rise to electric blues, a sound born from Mississippi Delta migrants who brought their music north in search of work and hope. Muddy Waters and Howlin' Wolf electrified stages, transforming the raw, haunting blues into something that would influence rock, jazz, and soul worldwide. Jazz clubs on the South Side thrived alongside the sounds of improvisation, experimentation, and expression. Later, house music emerged from the city's warehouses and underground clubs, reflecting an evolving urban culture that continually reinvents itself while remaining grounded in communal experience. Chicago's cultural significance extends beyond music. Theater, literature, and visual arts flourished, providing insight into the city's layered identity. Writers captured the struggles and triumphs of working-class families, immigrants, and everyday citizens, documenting a city constantly negotiating between opportunity and hardship. The Chicago School of Architecture reshaped skylines, combining aesthetic vision with engineering innovation. Buildings like the Willis Tower, the John Hancock Center, and the Aqua Tower stand not just as monuments to design, but as symbols of ambition and resilience. Yet life in Chicago is not only about creation and beauty. The city has faced repeated trials. Gang violence, political corruption, economic disparities, and systemic inequality challenged communities, particularly in marginalized neighborhoods. The Great Migration brought millions of African Americans to the city in search of work and refuge, but they often encountered segregation, redlining, and limited economic opportunity. Out of these struggles emerged cultural resilience and activism, leading to community organizations, educational initiatives, and social movements that continue to shape the city today. Sports also play a pivotal role in defining Chicago's communal identity. The Cubs, Wrigley Field with its ivy-covered walls and loyal fans, symbolizes decades of hope, perseverance, and collective experience. The Bulls, Bears, Blackhawks, and White Sox each contribute to a citywide narrative of pride, competition, and shared memory. Game days unite neighborhoods, create rituals, and perpetuate legends, reminding the city that while skyscrapers and industry define its form, human connection defines its spirit. As skyscrapers rise against Lake Michigan's horizon and the L trains clatter overhead, Chicago remains a city of contrasts: wealth and poverty, elegance and grit, innovation and tradition. It is a place where the past meets the future, where every street, building, and park holds a story of ambition, creativity, or resilience. The city's identity is not static. It is alive, constantly reshaped by those who live, work, and dream within it. The next chapter of Chicago's story delves into its ongoing evolution, from economic revitalization to cultural expansion, from environmental challenges to technological innovation, from local community action to global influence. It is here, in this interplay of history and progress, that we see the city's true essence, a metropolis constantly redefining itself while holding onto the legacy of those who built it. As the sun sets over Lake Michigan, Chicago glows with a golden hue that reflects both its rich history and the promise of its future. The city's skyline shimmers in the twilight, a testament to human ambition, resilience, and imagination. Chicago is a city that has been rebuilt and reinvented time and again, each layer adding depth to its identity and character. From the ashes of the Great Fire to the rise of the modern metropolis, from immigrant communities establishing roots to artists and innovators shaping culture, Chicago embodies the essence of transformation. Its streets, rivers, and neighborhoods hold countless stories. Every brick in the historic districts, every skyscraper in the Loop, every mural in Pilsen or Bronzeville speaks to the perseverance, creativity, and dreams of those who built and sustained this city. Chicago's identity is inseparable from its people: the laborers who worked the factories and stockyards, the entrepreneurs who envisioned opportunity, the musicians whose sounds transcended boundaries, and the activists who demanded justice and equity. Each has left an imprint, shaping Chicago into a city that is vibrant, complex, and alive. Despite the challenges, social inequality, economic fluctuations, environmental concerns, and the ever-present threat of natural disasters, Chicago continues to thrive. Its residents embody resilience, finding ways to adapt, innovate, and grow. Community gardens bloom in formerly abandoned lots, tech startups emerge alongside historic factories, and cultural festivals celebrate the city's remarkable diversity. Chicago is not just a place. It is a living narrative, a testament to what humans can achieve when vision, labor, and creativity converge. Sports, music, and arts continue to define the city's communal heartbeat. Wrigley Field's ivy-covered walls remind fans that hope and loyalty endure, even after decades of waiting. The blues, jazz, and house music scenes resonate through generations, reflecting struggle, triumph, and creativity. Museums, galleries, theaters, and public art installations showcase innovation while honoring heritage. Chicago's story is written in rhythm, in song, in architecture, in the laughter and sweat of its residents. As night envelops the city, the glow of streetlights and skyscrapers illuminates not only physical spaces, but also the enduring spirit of a metropolis that never stops dreaming. Chicago is a mirror of human ambition, where determination meets opportunity, where adversity sparks creativity, and where communities continually rise to shape their destiny. It is a city that challenges, inspires, and transforms all who live in or visit it. In reflecting on Chicago, one understands that its greatness is not measured solely by its towering skyline or bustling economy, but by the stories of its people, the lessons of its history, and the persistence of its spirit. It is a city built on innovation, resilience, and hope, a metropolis that embodies the best of human potential. From the shores of Lake Michigan to the heart of the Loop, from immigrant neighborhoods to cultural landmarks, Chicago remains a city of possibility, always evolving yet forever rooted in the legacy of those who came before. Thank you for joining this exploration of Chicago, a city that inspires and challenges, a city that reminds us of the power of resilience, creativity, and community. If this journey moved you, inspired you, or sparked your curiosity, please like this video, leave a comment sharing your thoughts, and subscribe to our channel for more cinematic documentaries that uncover the hidden stories of the world's most fascinating cities. Chicago is more than a city. It is a testament to human ambition, a story still being written, and an invitation to all who dare to dream.